Coo, a Doctor Who podcast, Series 8, Episode 1, Deep Breath. I am your host, Molly Southgate, with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Rob Southgate.
And the new doctor.
Yeah? Oh my gosh.
It's Dad.
Oh, yes, it is.
And with us, Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
We
sure it is.
wish Peter Capaldi was here with us.
So
he's awesome.
We saw this.
Made up all the hand motions.
Oh my gosh, he was so funny with his hands.
Yeah.
Right. We saw this in the theater. First, you guys watched it on TV, and then we saw it together in the theater. And I want to ask about that. Was there a difference to you guys? Did it make a difference seeing it in the theater?
Yes.
Which was better?
Molly?
Theater.
Well, we watched it live
the
night it aired.
Okay.
And
we held all the lights off, sitting there huddling together.
What was nice about watching it like that, we have TiVo. And so we would watch and we would be able to pause, take notes, talk about it, rewind. We would rewind scenes.
I can see how you'd want to do
over and over. Dialogue this dialogue was so funny. And we'd want to hear the lines over and over again. So,
like my lady friend.
Oh my gosh, we cracked
my
up.
Lady friend. He was yelling at the dinosaur.
I'm not flirting. So on that, for that, we really enjoyed being able to really hear it or go, did we miss that? Oh, rewind. Let's watch that scene again or whatever. So it took us a long time to get through the episode. But seeing it on
She's the only one that takes notes.
Yes.
Right.
Say yes.
But seeing it on the big screen.
Yeah.
And
seeing it like a movie.
And being able to see the behind the scenes. Because they gave us a special thing at the beginning of the movie with Star Wars tracks. At the end of the episode, we got to see Peter Capaldi step into the role and
that was cool.
Reading.
Well, they showed a reading from the very first time.
Yeah, and it was all the cast in a square sitting at tables shaped in a square, and they were all reading through the script.
Right.
And so we got to watch him read the scene with Jenna from the restaurant.
Yes.
And to see how quick he was and how well he just slipped. He just is the doctor.
Yeah, he just became the doctor immediately. And that's what she said also. Clara said, Jenna said that as soon as he read the first line, it was like, all that was there already.
And she goes, well, here we go. Or something. Well, off we go.
That's it.
And that's it. I mean, from the second he poked his head out of the TARDIS, I did not expect to like him.
Okay.
I sure as heck didn't expect to love him.
Right.
And I didn't expect to love him that fast.
Yeah.
But when he stuck his head out of the TARDIS and told Shrek to oh my God.
And
Yeah.
then he went back in.
Yeah.
And then he came back up. Then he went back in.
Then he went slowly out. And then poked his head out.
Was so
And then he looked inside.
funny.
You got a dinosaur too.
Now, what did you think of him having the Swiss cheese brain? Because he had all these holes in his thought, and he was like, I can't get this through my head, because he was still regenerating. Mm-hmm. What did you think of that? Did you like that he couldn't put these things together?
Was cool.
Or was it too much?
That was cool.
You liked it?
Mm-hmm.
I liked that they explained it, and he said my brain is rebooting.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was cool. I know that it's weird things like that I see people complain about.
Oh.
Like I saw a review of the episode. Now just to explain. Yes. Just to explain. You guys watched it. I watched part of it last night, and then tonight I actually saw the whole thing at the theater with you.
Right.
So this was a new experience
for
me.
Time.
Yes. And I tried to be spoiler free going into it, and I really did a pretty good job of it. But I did look at a couple of reviews, and I saw it was strange. I saw some like C+, things like that. I completely disagree.
Who would give it that?
I know, I loved it. And things they said is stuff like, well, they didn't like that he had this like Swiss cheese memory. They wanted him to like They thought it was too much. Like, he's the Doctor. He should pull into it faster. But do you guys remember the one when we saw David Tennant first turn into the Doctor? He couldn't even function.
Yeah.
And he ended up having to lay in bed for most of that episode. And then at the end, he came up and was like, I'm the Doctor.
He got his hand cut off, then it came back, so he didn't have to worry about it. What if that would be cool if he got his hand cut off?
Ew.
Because it would come right back.
Because you want to watch him.
And then he had the extra hand. Yeah.
And then, boom.
So whenever
and then he'd look and it starts coming up. Boom!
Whenever he was in the TARDIS and he needed help, and he'd
poof.
say, somebody lend me a hand, they'd give him his whole hand.
Boo.
Yep. Thank you.
But I just...
But I read those, and I thought... I just read very brief things. I tried not to read much. And I just disagreed. I mean, I thought... Here's what I thought. I thought that, first of all, I enjoyed that he was regenerating and not quite himself. And like, we saw him discovering all those new things about himself, which we've seen a lot of them do.
Well, and Matt Smith, he had to figure out what he liked to eat.
But with him, with Peter Capaldi in particular, let's remember that last episode with Matt Smith, when he regenerated, we didn't know, I mean, we did because obviously the show's going to go on, but they really played it up like, this is the last generation, and when he dies, he dies.
Yeah.
And then he was granted extra life, extra regenerations by the Time Lords. So this is a new thing. Mm-hmm. So when he regenerated, it's like, this is not anything we've seen before. So I thought that was really well done. Mm-hmm. I loved the villain. The mechanical man with the half face.
Fantastic.
Now, do you guys recognize those characters? Do you know what those are? What were they? Do you remember?
I don't know. I just recognize them. I feel like I watched something with them.
You did. It's from another episode called
it the Snowman episode?
No. It was called like The Girl in the Fireplace.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? And inside there, it was like there were all these party guests and all that, and they turned out to be robots. When they pulled off their things, they were all mechanical inside. Yes. That's who these guys were. That's why he kept going, I remember this. Yes. I know this, but I can't think what it is.
I do remember that now.
So when they showed these guys, I was like, oh, as soon as, you know where I knew it? Was when, we saw him, the guy with the half face. But it didn't occur to me that that's who it was, the Clockwork People or something. That's what I remember calling them.
Yeah, like the clock people.
Yeah. It was when they were in the restaurant and he said, do you notice anything about him? And you heard,
yeah.
As soon as I heard the sound, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the sound. That's something I love about this show.
And when they opened up the one thing, it was like a ticking clock.
Yes. I love the sound on this show.
I was going to say, whoever the Foley artist was,
it's so great
for these particular characters.
Yes,
it was. You know what? It also reminded me. And now I'm going to blank out, but I was thinking about it in the movie theater too. But it was the noise that it makes.
Were you thinking of Hugo? Because I thought of Hugo. Remember the mechanical man in Hugo? Am I the only one that remembers? Yeah, he had the little mechanical man that he made. And it moved around, and it was like clock pieces in that put it together?
No, a reel-to-reel.
Oh, it did sound kind of like a reel-to-reel with that sound.
It sounded like a film projector.
Yeah, so cool.
And then with the other noise sounded like something different. But that one, I kept thinking, oh, interesting. I wonder if they used a reel-to-reel machine.
Probably, yeah. Well, there's so many iconic sounds to Doctor Who, from the sound of the TARDIS to the sound of the sonic screwdriver.
Ooh, y'all know what it could be? It could be a typewriter typing.
It did have kind of that sound too.
Yeah.
And
believe me, I have a typewriter.
You have an old typewriter. Yeah.
This mechanical man sound.
So I would know.
Definitely is an iconic sound. Like it was crazy because I wasn't even thinking about that until I heard that sound in the restaurant. I'm like, oh, it's those things. I mean, that's really cool.
Awesome.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
So I didn't expect to love him as instantaneously as I did.
Yes.
I also want to talk about the reviews and the people that, as much as I love...
No, you read reviews?
No. What you're saying and what most of the people that I spoke to, we happened to be at a Comic-Con.
Yes.
the night after it aired.
Right.
And I
A
talked
few
to,
Doctor Who fans
and I
at this
talked to
Comic-Con.
a lot of people, and a lot of them had seen it or had watched some
part
kind
of it,
weird copy where it was black and white. So I talked to a lot of different fans and different people and just said, "Oh my gosh, did you see it? Anyone in a fez or whatever? Anywhere I could strike up
because you were dying to talk about it and you couldn't
Yeah.
tell me."
And I did not hear a negative comment.
No, well, that's just it. That's why. Okay,
But what I was going to say
Okay.
is that often in this community, whether it be Doctor Who or in fandom, in
Yes.
Doctor Who,
Fandom.
in Marvel, in whatever you're talking
Yes.
to people in these fandoms,
Yes.
a lot of them are really hard on the show.
By the
And
way,
they-
a fandom is a fan kingdom.
Yeah. and so what I find is that a lot of times fans can be harsh or extra particular or something. But with this, I was a little concerned. New Doctor, people don't like change.
Oh, yeah, the change is tough.
I did not hear a single negative comment
That's
from
excellent.
anyone who had
That's
seen this
great.
show. And so I don't know who this reviewer is. I don't know what they know about.
It was actually, I read more than one. I read a few, and some of them were a little bit, I'm not going to say rough, but they were C grade type reviews. And what I wanted to say about that is I look at these because of our shows, okay? But in general, I don't take any stock in any review I ever read.
I don't
ever.
either.
Because so many people, and this is something that we've run into a lot with what we do, it's like they're looking for the negative. They think, "Oh, I'm supposed to critique it."
Yeah.
Well,
I'm more intelligent if I find things that are wrong.
Right. I want to be the first to point out a problem. And the reality is, I'm a fan first.
Yes.
So I was watching it, just absorbing it, and like, this is awesome. I loved it. I loved Peter Capaldi. I loved the story. Is it the best Doctor Who story ever? No. Is it a mediocre one? No.
Right.
It was really cool.
And did it entertain?
Right.
Was it fun? Was he true to the show?
It's
and
the
true
same
to
reason
the character?
people fall off on shows real fast. Like one year, like a show will be just everyone's raving about it. The next year, it's like, even though we watch it and we go, it's still just as good. We just went through The Killing in the third season of The Killing. People stopped watching, and it's like the third season of The Killing was the best.
Yeah, it was so good.
Well, wasn't season 2 a bad season?
It
wasn't
wasn't
bad.
strong.
It wasn't bad. It just was stretched a little bit much.
And even
and no, Molly, you're not watching The Killing.
no,
I know. I'm not watching The Killing, just so you know.
You can start Coo Coo for Killing when you're old.
no, but I just wanted to say that sometimes people look for the negative and like to be hypercritical.
Yeah.
But I was standing there amongst,
Fans.
many tens of thousands of people, and anyone I talked to about it
It was positive.
that had seen it absolutely loved it and loved him. So I'm hoping that
Yeah, it's a good sign.
that's a good sign, and that, because I mean, what shoes to step into, and the fact
But think about how many times that's been. I mean, would you want to be Matt Smith taking over for David Tennant?
Yeah.
Would you want to be anybody taking over for Tom Baker?
Right.
You didn't even watch the Tom Baker Doctor Who's, and when he appeared in the 50th, you guys went like, oh my gosh,
Right.
that's how great this guy is.
Yes.
So each one.
But so I mean, it's quite
Peter Capaldi's got to be a tough one to beat.
Oh, he's fantastic.
This guy is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So Molly, I have a question for you.
What?
You love Matt Smith. He's your doctor. Do you think you can love this guy as much?
No.
Okay. Do you think you're going to like him as much?
No.
Do you think you're not going to like him?
No.
So you think that you're gonna like him just in a different way?
Yeah.
So he's a different doctor. So you love him as Doctor Who, but Matt Smith is your doctor.
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay, good
So
answer.
lots of short answers, but it came out to the right thing.
And it came out to 1.
Yes.
How about when he said, I miss Amy. These are the times I miss Amy or something.
When she was trying to get his screwdriver, he said, "At times like this, I miss Amy."
Right.
So there you go. So that should have given him some points for you because he brought up your favorite companion.
He got some points.
And then Chinny did call.
You can't jump to that.
But he did.
That's a whole
so that ties it all in
conversation
too.
that we need to have separately because that's a whole lot of feels there.
So I want to know.
Mom needs just to work out her feels.
Yeah.
What was aside from the feels part? What was your favorite part? Was there like a cool? Actually, I should say it a different way. I got to say it a different way because there were so many things. But like visually, what was the thing that you were just like, oh my gosh?
I know.
What?
I was there. I have two things.
Yeah.
I almost called it a dragon. The dinosaur setting on fire.
You know what? That looked like a dragon though, didn't it? When it did that.
Yeah.
It's setting on fire.
Combustion.
And also, it was when Matt Smith called because you didn't know he was going to call.
Right. So those were your two things you just went like, oh my gosh. How about you, Martha?
Let's see. Definitely the robots in the restaurant and downstairs, like that whole thing, because that was so much work and just the sheer amount of production and everything that had to go into those scenes and the mechanisms and I thought that was all
I'm
really
happy
cool.
about Peter Capaldi's remembering way past. And guess what? I'm excited because he's gonna start remembering he once had a horse, and Claire's just yelling at him like roasted in the one episode that he kept remembering
that he had a horse.
He had a horse. He
That's
took a
so
horse,
funny.
and Rose yelled at him. And she's like, "You are not keeping that."
And now he stole one in this episode.
He did.
That's so
What
funny.
is it about horses?
You're going to have to leave your pet here. I'm talking to the horse.
Yeah.
So I loved the whole visual of the dinosaur and then the dinosaur on fire. To me, that was one of those things like whenever I think of this episode, I'm going to think of that.
Oh, and the horse neighed when he said, "I'm talking to the horse," like that horse was yelling at me.
Right. And then the other one is what you said. It's the scene in the restaurant and then the scene when Clara is holding her breath specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was, for me, I don't know if it was the same on TV, but in the theater, that was really intense.
It's like, I can't.
Like, I don't think I took a breath during that.
I always try to hold my breath when they do.
And did you do it? Did your eyes get watery?
No. Yeah.
Uh-oh. You just talked, you're breathing. Here come the mechanical men.
Oh, Dad.
All
right.
right.
No, I better hold my breath. My parents are mechanical guys.
Good Foley work.
That was good, honey. Oh my gosh, how about the scene where he's talking about the bedroom? What kind of room is this that has beds in it?
Now that was hilarious, and the way he was like putting his
Matt
world
Smith,
together.
I'm not sure Matt Smith. He was only in Amy's bedroom for a short time. So he would know.
Well, he knows what bedrooms are, though, because he's been in other bedrooms. This doctor doesn't remember what it is. It doesn't make sense to him.
He doesn't remember
he doesn't sleep.
anything.
He doesn't sleep.
I stand up and take catnap.
Yeah, that was funny when he said, I take catnaps. Basically, when other people are talking, that way it gives me something to do till we get to what I'm doing. Which I actually think is like your mom, Molly.
He's so funny. Yeah, well, that's why I like him so
Pretty
much.
close. So, yeah, the other thing was in that bedroom when he started writing with the chalk.
Oh, when he sniffed?
Yeah, he
until
sniffed,
he
but
found the chalk?
then he was writing with the chalk.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. If it was him
that was
piecing
his memory coming back.
right, him piecing his universe together, or I wonder if
I thought it was an escape plan.
an escape plan.
Oh, that would have been funny.
See, I'm wondering if it's something that's going to come out later in the series, because there were a couple of things here that I think are lay-ins for what's going to happen, and that map and equation, to me, I started thinking maybe that's something like he's figuring something out that at some point he's going to go, I got it. Like, you're going to see him do that more. Because if you look at his new TARDIS, he had a lot of that equation stuff kind of in the walls and stuff, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what I saw? That's Time Lord speak in his TARDIS.
It was.
I've seen Time Lord speak, and it's like that. How it's just all the circles and stuff.
with the lines
and it
coming
had the
out of
round
it.
things from Tom Baker's TARDIS.
Yes.
It had the round things.
Do you remember what he said about that when he was telling her about the room?
I used to have round things on the walls.
I need more round things.
Yeah, I think I wanted more round things.
Well, he says, I don't know where I put them. I used to have them. I used to have a lot more of them, but I don't know where I put them.
I like that he had his big leather chair in there, too, because that's what one of the older doctors used to have a chair in there, and it was like a library. And it was back.
Okay, I'm still in the bedroom.
Oh, sorry, we got excited.
Yeah. So he says, what do you do? What is this room? And they said, it's for sleeping. And he says, what do you do if you're not sleeping? And they said, well, you leave the room.
Right.
And he said, you have a whole room that you don't use when you're awake. And it does. Like, when he said it, I'm thinking, yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, except for mine, which has a closet and stuff.
You know what? Yours
you
is
do
an
a
art
lot in your
studio
room.
and a toy room. Yeah, you've got a whole lot going on.
Ours, we sleep in.
Yes.
You sleep in and change clothes.
Yep, that's about it.
So then I want to talk about while we're still in the bedroom.
We're still in the bedroom.
Strax comes in to get Clara.
Yes.
You want to do that scene? What does he say to Clara when he has to take her to the madam's chamber?
He says to her, "May I take your coat?" And she says, "I'm not wearing a coat." And then he says, "Then what's all that?"
I love that. Then what's all that?
And she's like, these are my clothes. And then
he said, "May I take your clothes?" And she says, "No." He said, "Are you wearing a hat?" "That's hair." "Are you sure? Let me check."
Yeah. Oh, it's so great.
Oh, I love their chemistry.
Strax is an
Clara
interesting character because if you know that his race...
Molly,
oh, yeah, I know.
What is he?
He is... I forgot what he is.
But what did Matt Smith always call him?
Potato dwarf.
Yeah, he's a potato dwarf.
You gotta know what's cool? In this episode, he kept saying, like, Snow White... He kept referencing... Peter Capaldi was referencing to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Right.
Yeah.
Sneezy, grumpy, dopey.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out who he was. Now, what I was going to say about Strax, and this might be something that you might not know or you might have forgotten, but you know how he's always talking about, like, war things? Like, I'm going to melt him with acid.
Yeah, I know that.
His character... That race, they're warring characters.
Really violent.
Yeah, I know that.
He's a scary, violent character. They really use him for comic relief here, but I'm kind of wondering if we're not going to get to see his race again with Peter Capaldi, because I could imagine that would be pretty interesting. You know, they played him for laughs here, but I have a feeling that we might get a little bit more deep with that type of character.
Yeah, you're probably right. I knew his race was always violent. That's why I'm like, that's why he's saying melt him with acid. I kept telling Mom.
Yeah. How about when he threw the paper at Clara? Did you like that?
Let's tell that scene. Can I see that scene? Okay, so he says to Clara, "Hello, Clara. You're finally up."
Right.
And she says, "Oh, so you got the TARDIS?" And he's like, "Yeah. The doctor will always find his blue box. There's no sightings of him." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "We'll lure him back here and we will melt him with acid." And then she says, that last part, and he says, "Oh, yeah, and we will not melt him with acid."
So funny.
And then he takes the paper, he says, "Do you want me to toss this up to you?"
And she's like, "Sure." And then he hits her in the head and she falls down. That must have been a heavy paper. That must have been a heavy paper because when they open them up, it's like 2 pages.
Right. Well, that was so funny. He had a lot of funny stuff in the beginning when she came in then, and he calls her boy.
Oh, I love it.
And then he says, "Oh, you look refreshed and better." And she says, "Oh, thank you." And then he goes, "Oh, no, must have been the light. You still look terrible."
And he says, he says, like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You still look terrible."
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I think they're opposite creatures.
Oh, you think they're opposite creatures?
Because Matt Smith said half his brain got messed up on the way over here.
Is that what it is?
thought that was funny. I forget what that was, but he told him kind of his story one time.
Right.
About, like, oh yeah, some of his brain, but he made it funny, like some of his brain on the way over.
Oh, right, I remember when he told
Scrambled
that
or
story,
something?
yeah. So there were a couple of kind of creepy things in this. Did we notice the
Tweezers.
balloon made of human skin?
Ew.
Yuck.
Yeah.
That
Did you
was
notice the
disturbing.
threatening tweezers and thank you for your gift?
Yes.
When he was going to take the guy's eyes.
Dad,
Yes.
don't say it.
And then when the waiter came up and he's scanning him and he's like, they go, what's the special? He goes, liver, spleen, brain, eyeball. Then he's go, I think we're on the menu. Yikes.
Brainstem.
And then they killed that dinosaur. Do you remember what they said they killed the dinosaur for?
They killed the dinosaur because there's a part in it that they needed.
It was part of the eye.
It was like a half an inch of the optic nerve.
Yeah.
Or
That's
something
it.
I think he said.
They killed that whole big dinosaur for a half an inch of optic nerve. And that was the other thing. Clara said, how do you know that about the dinosaurs? How long have you been around? I wonder. And
I think they've been around since cavemen.
well, they had to have been before cavemen when the dinosaurs were here. And then the other thing that happened with that is when they were talking about cyborgs, and he says, you're not really a normal cyborg because a cyborg is a person adding robotic parts, but you're a robot putting on human parts. But I have a question about that.
What?
If they were around with the dinosaurs and that, and he said you've been replacing parts and changing things, I wonder if that race was cyborg first. Was human, went cyborg, eventually became more robot than human, and then it eventually became mostly robot, and that's what we have now. So it's kind of something else. I wonder.
I don't know.
So many big questions. Do you think we're going to get answers?
No.
I doubt it.
Well, how about when they had dropped the screwdriver?
Oh, yeah.
And then she has to lift it, get it up, and throw it at him. But
And the one time she dropped it, then she got it. She said, next time don't make one that rolls.
Right, and she said...
That was
Just
funny.
it was
And then what
rolled.
happened? It dropped and it
rolled.
rolled.
But she says, you should make that thing voice activated. And then the look on his face, and she goes, it already is, isn't it?
Ah!
And he goes, never mind. You're like,
What does
"Move
voice
along."
activated?
It means that they wouldn't have had to pick it up. They
Right.
could have just said, screwdriver, do this, and
Right.
it would have done it.
Right.
Voice activated. They wouldn't have had to touch it and press the
but
button.
instead he went through that whole thing with the screwdriver.
Okay,
Oh, man.
there was one scene in here that really made me question whether I could handle him as the doctor.
Oh, okay.
Because when they're trapped, when Clara gets trapped,
I know what you're gonna say.
and he
Yeah.
says, he said, better than both of us being trapped in there.
Right.
And then she says, give me the screwdriver. And he says, no, I might need it. And he left her.
Right.
Yeah.
That, I had a violent reaction.
Right.
Both times I
know.
saw
I've still
it,
got a black eye.
I had a violent reaction to that scene. But then he comes and he does have her back.
Yeah.
Well, and he says that there was a reason for that. Like he explains it quickly to her, but it bothered me the first time. That's about where we ended watching, so I got to see up to that last night, and it bothered me. But then when I saw him, there, it was like, okay. Tonight watching it, it bothered me a lot less. Maybe because I knew he was in the room, but also because it seemed so logical.
Yeah.
And that might be something that we're going to get out of Peter Capaldi that's a little different. Is they're all very, obviously it's the same guy being regenerated, very smart, some are funnier about things, some are, quirkier. He might be very logical, strategic about stuff, because that was very strategic on his part.
But
Yes.
we don't have the trust built up.
No.
With
No,
him
so
yet.
it was shocking.
So for me, it was like, oh my gosh, he did
But
not just do that.
But
He
if
did
we
not
go,
just leave her there.
3 episodes into it and he's done something like this that has
But
been
he always
so
has her
strategic,
back still. Yeah.
you'll build up the trust, but you'll see that he's really playing it a different way.
Yeah. And then when Madame Vastra when Strax and Jenny and Madame Vastra dropped down from the ceiling.
Yes.
I loved it. Y'all know what they said. They said you're always gonna do it. But y'all know what I was wondering? It looked like Clara pressed her necklace.
It did.
It looked like she pressed her necklace.
Yeah, when they said Geronimo.
And then it lit up blue.
Yeah.
And then they came down.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that
was.
was.
And they said Geronimo, and they came down. Oh, can I tell you my favorite part?
Yeah.
When you saw Jenny and Madame Vastra coming down.
Yeah.
They're all, it's all graceful and stuff, and then they get down, and then you see a bit of white, you look up, and then thud, and you look down, it's Potato Dwarf.
Yeah. And they go, you really gotta learn to take the stairs.
He says, we told you to take the stairs. Or they said to him, we told you to take the stairs.
They say it like we keep telling
because he's not
you.
graceful at all. But what happens then is she says, they called the police. And Clara looks at the doctor and says, she called the police. We should do that.
Right.
What are we thinking?
Yeah, what are we doing?
We should do that. Like, how do we not ever think? But then we see we shouldn't because they came and they couldn't, and then they ran away.
Oh, well, what were they going to do? A mechanical man with a flamethrower on his arm.
I'm just saying.
Especially in that time period, it's like they can't deal with anything like that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That Clara now will be able to say, yeah.
Now we just show them the iPhone and they'd scream and run away.
Right. Ooh, they get so scared of Angry Birds. Who
and I liked
doesn't?
the when when the doctor was talking to the cyborg guy, and he said, "You are a broom."
Yes.
You have replaced every piece of yourself. The handle's been replaced multiple times, the brush. And he said, you can still sweep. We could sweep with you. He goes, oh, wait, never mind. Don't, forget about it.
Yeah. But
that's irrelevant.
But is it the same broom?
But are you still the same broom? No.
Right.
No, every part of you has been replaced multiple times.
Okay. So I have a question. The article in the paper that got Clara to go there, was that the doctor?
No, he said it. He already explained it.
I don't remember.
He said, do you remember the woman that sent you to me in the first place? There was a woman who...
Yes.
And he said, she has a vested interest in us being together.
Oh, you know what? I just didn't catch that. Now that you're saying it, I remember this. That's what that was.
Wasn't that Amy? Because she had the number in the book in one of the first episodes with Matt Smith and Clara. She was reading a book that Amy made.
Right. Mm-hmm. The kids' book?
Uh-huh. It could be, hon.
And then it had the doctor's number.
Right. Could be. I wonder if she was there at that time, because she went back in history. Remember? When she went back with Rory. I wonder if that's where she is. Oh, that's a weird thought. I never thought of that. So, do you think she put the ad in that says the impossible girl?
Probably.
Well, he said that the woman wants us to be together.
Wow.
And so that's what's going on here. It wasn't, because I at first thought he meant Madame Vastra.
Yeah, no, I didn't think that. And then I was like, no,
that's not working. Then this time when I watched it, I thought, oh, no, he said the woman who first brought you to me.
Yeah.
Has a vested interest.
There's two more big points we need to hit here. One is the big feels area for Mom.
Okay, let me do this.
You do it.
Okay, because it's
Molly, you jump in. You love to.
And I'll do the funny parts.
Yes, Clara is throughout the episode is really struggling with the change in him. He's old.
Yeah.
He's and you know what? I kept thinking. I didn't get, she kept defending, because like Madame Vastra thought that she was just completely superficial. Yeah. And she kept defending that and saying, no, I don't have a problem with older men. I think that she felt scared that he doesn't get that many years if he comes out and he's old. And she kept saying, why is he old? He's supposed to be new.
Oh, like he could expire.
Yes.
Well, especially since she does know that that last one was supposed to be the last one.
Right.
Yeah.
So she knows kind of what went on here. So maybe she's afraid
thinking,
of that.
he's going to need a hip replacement in a few years or something.
So what I was
She's going to end up being his caregiver.
What I was thinking wasn't that, but
I'd
that
be
is a
scared of
really
that.
solid thought. What I was thinking about it is not that it was superficial or anything, but that, think about it. If one day I walked in and was completely different.
Uh-huh.
Yes, like Jenny said, oh, but I love her, it wouldn't change anything. Yeah, but it's shocking.
Yeah.
It's shocking.
But I love
But
what
I think you might be right.
Madame Vastra said to her when she kind of gave her the smackdown about it. And she said, the doctor regenerated in your presence and he trusted you. Are you judging him?
Yes.
That really
Yes.
was a turning point for Clara
Yes.
in this episode. And, but she wasn't fully there yet. But
Yes.
it was the turning point of her going, oh,
Well, there
wait
was
a second.
definitely character growth for Clara. And if you
Yes.
think about it, when he wasn't there in the beginning, when she was with Strax and Madame Vastra and that, she was Clara. She was the regular Clara that we know.
Yes.
And she was going through some stuff, but she was Clara. When she was with him, she was off kilter. And like when he left her in there, she was like, what?
Because Matt Smith was with her.
Right.
He would always help her up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was always right there.
Yep.
So
And he was kind of...
So get onto your feels now.
So we're at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And they have their big scene together. It's just the two of them for a long time talking. And I love when first he shows up and he reeks really bad.
Right.
And he's like, I can't tell. It's coming from everywhere. No, it's really just you.
Yeah, yeah.
But he starts to make things sort of light and
he
add some levity.
smiles.
Yeah, and she's
like, you do not smile unless I smile to warn you to tell you to smile.
Right.
It's safe to smile.
Yes, she says, I will smile first, and then you will know it is safe to smile.
Yes.
And she is so mad. And he says, are you cross with me? I'm not cross. And if I was cross, it wouldn't be with you, and she just and then she's finally like, yes, I'm really cross with you.
Yeah.
And she this is very, very hard for her. And, but I really, I loved so much about this all. But, so then they're in the TARDIS and she says you redecorated and, we've talked about that already.
And she said, I don't like it.
Well, I think it'll grow on. I think
it was kind of like House Hunters
thought it was
Doctor
kinda
Who
fun.
edition
Yeah.
that you were watching.
And he was showing off his new outfit.
Yes.
Did you guys like it?
I did. I thought it was cool.
And when we saw it in the theater and they showed the behind the scenes and how that outfit was picked for him, I thought it was brilliant because the guy who designed it said, I wanted it to look like it could be for people who love the Elizabethan era. It fits that. People who love the 60s, it fits that.
Right,
People
it was
who
all
love
the different things.
It truly
it had
could go with any
little allusions to past doctors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
The
it was
boots.
subtle. And when he said the little red, that's the fourth Doctor or the third Doctor. Each thing had a little.
Like the black coat was the first.
Yep.
And then the shoes were...
Was it
10th.
8th or 10th?
That was the 8th.
9th.
8th.
8th?
I thought he said.
Okay. I don't remember.
No, that was the 9th.
Okay.
9th? Was it Chris Eccleston?
Yes.
Okay.
It was Chris Eccleston.
And so, but each thing had a reason for existing.
Yes.
And he said, they made a point of, Peter Capaldi said behind the scenes, I have to wear this for the rest of my life.
That was a great moment when he said that because you realize, a couple of things. One is, you're probably going to have to put this on for the rest of your life. They probably all are going to have to. David Tennant was retired and he's been back for the 50th, and other guys have come back.
He's got to wear that pinstripe suit all the time.
Yes.
Matt Smith has to wear that outfit and his fez and bow tie.
Forever.
That is going to be.
But the other part
forever.
of it that when he said it that I thought of is people have been talking about Peter Capaldi being a doctor that very well could be our doctor for a long time. Whereas Matt Smith, you get 4 years, you get 5 years, 3 years out of some of these guys. For him,
Not as Matt Smith.
But think about it. This is the 8th series since relaunching with Eccleston. There have been 3 other doctors, okay, in that time. So you're only talking 2-3 years, 1 for 1, When you get to him, Peter Capaldi, he might be here for 10 years or longer. He could be wearing this for a long time on the show, let alone what happens afterwards. So for a lot of people, this might be the beginning of this is my doctor for like an entire generation.
And how much did I love...
Not you. Yours is Matt Smith.
But as a foodie, and we got to, with Matt Smith, we got to watch him pick out his foods. But Peter Capaldi went right to that menu. He's like, no sausages on here? I was like, I love him.
Yes.
I love him. I love sausages.
Well, and he's Scottish, so he gets to be angry.
I know. Well, that was fantastic. He's like, I get to complain about stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Before, this. He was all never complaining.
Yep.
Now he can.
Yep. Now he can be crabby.
So they're on the TARDIS.
And he'll use that nicely.
Oh, yes. They're in the TARDIS. He shows his new outfit. And then Clara says, I'm home.
Right.
And the doctor says, if you want to be.
Right.
And she says, I don't know who you are anymore.
Uh-oh.
And it broke.
You're about to cry.
No, I'm not. But it broke my heart.
Yes.
Because it's so true that you have this. Okay, this is going to be the most bizarre
from you. That's
analogy.
A shocker.
Okay, we had a Christmas party one year, and you had to dress as Santa.
Yes.
And I watched you get dressed.
Yes.
And then I walked out of the room, like you got you in the full costume, walked out of the room, I walked back in the room, and I spent the whole rest of the time going, is that still you?
Yeah, you did.
Are you in there? I was so freaked out. I was like, is that still you? And you go, it's me. I'm right here. And you pull the beard down, like, okay, still you, right? Because there's something about...
Can I tell you a secret? At one point, it wasn't me.
I know, but see, that's what freaks me out. But imagine her... And here's this entirely different new body.
Yes.
And she's going, I'm not seeing enough of
That's what I was saying before, when it was like, you can't blame her for being so off kilter.
And so, but it still broke my heart.
Yes.
And then her phone rings, and he says, it's your boyfriend. She's like, I don't have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it was Matt Smith, and
Which is her boyfriend.
Cried.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, did I cry?
And he called just before he was going to regenerate.
Because he knew she was going to struggle.
Right. But he didn't know what he was going to turn into, but he just
wanted
her
but
to
he
know.
did.
Wait,
because...
guys.
Well, no, he didn't. What, Mal?
No, that wasn't right when he was about to generate. He wasn't in the TARDIS. He was at the place
Tesseract.
where the doctor's supposed to die.
He was at Tesseract.
Right, where he was supposed to die.
Uh-huh. He wasn't there. He wasn't at where he changed.
Right.
He changed in the TARDIS.
Right. But that's what that was.
Earlier in the episode, Peter Capaldi said, I chose this face.
Yes.
Why did I choose this face? He said, I was trying to tell myself something.
But wait, I know what you're saying.
So technically,
but what he did, but Matt Smith also said, wait, am I old? So he didn't know he was old. Maybe he chose it after that point.
Yeah.
But at the point where he's talking to Clara, he didn't know.
So he calls her, and he says, Clara, he's more scared than you can imagine.
Yeah.
And he needs you.
Yes.
And then Peter comes out of the TARDIS and says, is that the doctor? And he says, is that the doctor?
Yeah.
And then Matt Smith says, is he old?
Yeah.
And then he says, he's like, does he have gray hair? Tell me he doesn't have gray hair.
Right.
And I kept hoping she would lie to him and say, no, you came out as a ginger.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
But it was okay. But he says, for me, I need you to help him.
Right.
And he said, and don't be afraid. And then so I was weeping openly there.
You were weeping in the theater.
But then when she hangs up the phone and she walks back to Peter Capaldi and he says, "Will you help me?"
Yeah.
And he says, "You look at me and you can't see me. Do you have any idea what that's like?"
So tough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then she stares at him. She goes up and she's looking at his face and then she sees him and she hugs him and he says, "I don't think I'm a hugging person now."
And he didn't hug her and he's like,
Those awkward hands.
Yeah, the hands were out.
And she says, "I don't think you have a vote."
Yeah. Yeah.
She's going to hug him all the time.
because she was hugging him and he's like,
Yes. So that was so powerful. And it was so...
You missed actually a little bit, too.
Go ahead, yeah.
Just
lay
because
it on me. Just because I was crying too hard.
You did, but he said, it's... the outside is different, but it's still me.
Yeah.
Like, were you talking... were you talking to him? You were actually talking to me. Mm-hmm. Like, get it?
Yeah.
I thought that was really great because when he said the line, I was like...
So technically he called her on the phone.
Right. Like, he remembered calling her. Mm-hmm. Like, it would be like me saying, "But I called you this afternoon. I remember the conversation." And you're going, "Wait, that was years ago. That doesn't make sense." That's how weird it was.
And that's why he said, "It's your boyfriend."
Yes.
Your boyfriend's calling.
He knew.
And she said, "I don't have a boyfriend." And he said to her before, he said, I'm not going to flirt with you. He's like, "I'm not your boyfriend." And she goes, "I never said you were." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not telling you that."
Right.
He said, no, he said, I didn't say it was your mistake.
Yes.
Yes.
It was his. Because he was
flirty.
Because he's the one who had feelings for her.
Right.
And he's trying to keep them in check.
Yeah,
Right.
but
And maybe that's why he made himself old, so that she wouldn't be attracted.
That's because of Kissy number 10, who was all lovey with everybody.
Right.
That had residual for Matt Smith. Mr. Kissy.
And so I think he did that to make sure that she was not attracted to him.
Right.
Okay, now we have to go here.
Did you hear when he said...
Are we at the end?
We have to go here.
We have to do Potato Dwarf when he's doing her examination.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so Potato Dwarf is mopping up the floor
God,
with
gross.
sewer water.
That's so gross.
And he had bathed in.
And Clara asked for some water.
Gosh.
And he's like, "It's good."
I washed in it.
Yeah.
And then he gave it to her, and she's like, nah. And it's like a big bucket.
Yeah, it's like a mop.
She just asked for like a little.
So gross.
Oh, sick.
And she's like, actually, I'm not sure. And he's like, I'm not thirsty anymore. And he's like, are you sure? I washed in it myself. I thought he said I washed it myself.
No, he washed himself in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like he took a bath.
Even worse.
Oh, sick. Yeah, then he did the exam, and he had it on her eye, and he's going, "Now open your mouth and say ah." And she did, and he goes, "Well, your lips aren't even moving." And she's like, "Because that's my eye." And he's like, "Well, obvious mistake or something."
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah,
Her
like
eye doesn't look
everyone
anything
knows.
like her mouth.
Yeah.
That was really
Everyone
funny.
knows he's crazy.
But he was doing her medical exam because he said, if we're going to serve together,
Right.
if you're going to be here, because the doctor's clearly left you here.
Right.
I have to know that you're going to be healthy.
Yeah.
And then he tried to tell her how old she was going to live, when she was going to die.
And he told her she has a lot of water retention when she's older.
And it's spectacular.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Poor Clara.
Who uses that term when you're talking about water retention? It'll be
me and
be spectacular.
Strax. Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. But when he's in the alleyway looking for something, and the homeless guy comes up,
yes,
and he's trying to find his.
This is when his brain was Swiss cheese.
Yeah, he was in his nightgown,
and he couldn't figure. He couldn't even place words.
And he says, "I need clothes," and he says, "and a big long scarf," and then he goes, "No, I'll look stupid.
And the one doctor had clothes on
Yeah.
and a
Right.
big line. Whoa, I just made it sound bad like one of the doctors isn't wearing clothes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're all wearing
That's
clothes.
the naked doctor.
Yeah.
And then he's looking
He's
in,
the secret doctor hiding away.
Yeah.
he's looking in the mirror with the homeless guy, and he's like, have you ever looked at yourself and not and recognized what you saw? And he goes, yeah. And he's like, when? And he's like, every day. Every time I look in the mirror. And he says, oh, well, mine's new. This is a new face.
Yeah, this is a new face. I
And,
just got it.
So he's like, yeah, and he goes, why this face? And he says, it's
What?
all right until the eyebrows.
Oh, the eyebrow thing was so
And then he
funny.
says,
You could take bottle tops with.
he says,
Ow.
these are attack eyebrows.
Uh-huh. He said you could take bottle tops off with these things. Said they've got a mind of their
Oh
own.
my gosh, he's like, my face is smiling, but these are crossed.
Yeah.
And they're just, they want to secede from my face and create their own angry eyebrow colony
Oh,
or something.
that was the
He
funniest.
was hysterical
thing.
in that. And he's, then he realizes he's Scottish.
Yeah. Oh, and he's like,
I'm
oh, it's
Scottish! Now I can complain about things.
And,
Couldn't you?
Oh, it was so
If
great.
he was German, oh my gosh, that would
Oh my
be bad.
gosh. Can you imagine?
He would be complaining about everything.
I'm half German.
Well,
What are you doing to your mother? You're German. You're
throwing
okay.
you under the
I'm
bus.
German.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I mean, but if he
Wait,
was
Molly,
all German.
wait. You're German and Scottish in there.
Oh,
Oh
Is that why you complain about it?
Yeah?
no!
No.
No!
So he then says, I'm feeling bitey, and I'm
Yeah.
feeling, what is he talking about? He's like, it's bitey. And then the guy goes, well, I'm cold. He goes, that's the word. I knew there was the word. I'm cold. And he says, give me, and then he finds out he's Scottish, so he can be angry. So he goes, give me your coat.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, no, I'm cold. He goes, well, we shouldn't both be cold. Give me your coat.
Yeah. That was so good.
Yeah, like there's no
And he
sense
ended up
in-
with it. That disgusting coat, that smelly coat.
And then he had those nasty cut, and he
Where the
kept putting
fingers-
it on his face. I was like, okay, there's not enough Purell in the world
So
for that
gross.
dude. Get that away from
Well,
your
at that
mouth.
time, there wouldn't have been Purell in there. But maybe
know,
when he
but-
gets in the TARDIS, it has Purell.
That could be. So,
So I want to talk about the end.
okay.
Because we've kind of talked out
Yes,
each of the things,
sir.
but the ending, we see, the mechanical guy
Oh,
gets
wait.
impaled. Molly's favorite game.
No. Oh yeah, that actually is. 1 second. We didn't say we didn't finish the thing about Strax taking the examination.
Oh, okay, go ahead. What do you have to say?
Well, I loved it when he was looking at her brain.
Oh, had her subconscious?
Yeah, can you tell me?
He said, narcissistic, a little
Passive-aggressive.
a little
Yep.
passive aggressive, and they're boys.
Doing calisthenics.
Nope.
Or athletics.
like sporting boys playing soccer.
Yep.
Well, that's what you decided because you said Matt Smith,
Because Matt Smith plays soccer.
Right.
and so Molly said,
And he was
"Oh."
and he was a young men playing
Yep.
soccer.
So that's, that
So they
makes
didn't
sense.
technically say soccer.
Young men playing sports. And I'm
Sport,
like,
yeah.
But you know what? You
Ah.
and
probably
she
have
said,
it.
"Oh, her subconscious is thinking about Matt Smith playing
Yes. I didn't catch that. Ooh.
even though she wasn't around when he started playing it.
No, but
Yeah, she
she
wasn't.
knew. She was around him enough. He
So-
couldn't help
Oh,
it.
yeah, she was.
Did you have more to say about his exam? Because then we said he told her how long she'd live and that she'd have spectacular
Right. Water
spectacular
retention.
water retention.
So
I said,
now,
well, it's going to be a good one, because she said, no,
Yeah,
you're not
do
telling
not
me.
Don't
tell
tell
me when
me.
I'm going to die.
so now we can talk about the ending. So the mechanical man is impaled and
On a
dead.
steeple.
And the whole time he kept saying he wanted to go to the promised land.
Mm-hmm. I know
And-
that. I kind of.
So at the end, he ends up in this garden,
Mm-hmm.
and this woman is there, and she
She is
says
crazy.
that, oh, you talked to my boyfriend, and this is the promised land. You made it, and she's nuts. Her name was Missy. Now,
I don't think she's nuts.
who do you think Missy
You
is?
thought she was normal?
Why would you? She's in heaven.
She's a little strange.
And is it actually heaven? He's a robot.
And
Or did he go somewhere else? And, okay, so...
She said welcome to heaven.
Right.
Paradise. She gave it lots of words.
Our
Promised Land, Paradise,
our
and
sister
heaven.
podcast, which is Next Stop Everywhere.
Or our brothers. And
Yeah, our brothers, yes.
This is the girl.
They
the
were
boy.
talking about Missy. And they had this theory that Missy might be this female Time Lord. Now, I've never heard of this female Time Lord, but I guess in like season 3 or season 4, there was a female Time Lord that showed up. Mm-hmm. And they were speculating that might be who it is. I have another thought on it. Do you guys, before I tell you who I think it might be, do you guys have an idea?
No, go for it.
Nope.
It might be just a character we don't know yet who's nuts. Some people I know thought it might be River Song. Like just her, because she...
Just in a goofy...
Well, she's changed.
Oh, okay.
Because she regenerates too. We saw her do it in an episode.
Ooh, she regenerated?
Yes. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking very possibly that it's the Master has regenerated into female form. And the reason that she said my boyfriend is because she's so tied to him. But the Master is nuts. And that very well could be who it is. Now, I'm just guessing. The other clue, she had a lot of color in her hair. That might be a clue that I'm just not aware of. So
I didn't see any color. I just saw brown hair.
no, she had some highlights. There was some like blue and red that was
stuff,
in just real faintly up in her hair. So I think she's going to turn out to be a very important character. What do you think?
I think so.
Think she's going to be a bad guy?
Maybe.
Yeah. How about you, Martha?
I have no idea. I don't have any theory or anything.
Well, shall we leave it there?
We need to talk about one other thing that happened tonight at the
Oh,
theater.
yeah. Now, this is outside of it, but this was so awesome.
And actually, last night we had
Nigel the Purple Dalek.
Well,
Yes.
last night we had a VIP party after a Comic-Con, and this awesome family brought
A
a
Dalek.
purple Dalek that the father had built.
And it is a Dalek.
It is a fully functioning electronic light
It
up.
lights up and
it
its
looks like
things
it's
move.
floating.
It talks. Remember, it
A
was
girl goes inside and it talks and it says exterminate. To one person it said I wanted to say her to her so bad. You're lucky. She usually says exterminate.
I actually heard it tonight go, "Hey, Dad, I need a little help with something." Just like that.
Oh, that's funny.
And he was like, "Okay, just go over there." And I was like, "That was a Dalek talking to her dad." It's kind of like when Clara was inside. Remember that? Impossible Girl. So, yeah, Nigel the Purple Dalek. You can look up Nigel online. If you just type that in on Google, you'll see pictures of this awesome Dalek. And we'll put some pictures on our website, too.
Absolutely. Molly got to ride in it today.
I did.
That was
just the
crazy.
bottom, but I got to.
So we'll post a picture
Control
of that.
Yeah,
but-
and I don't know how many kids get to do that. It's just, she was standing there and he said, "Do you want to get in it?" I was like, "I want to get in it." I wouldn't fit.
Dad, it's meant for like a child.
I got like my leg in there, like
But
my
it
foot.
really is the coolest thing.
It is.
The thing.
And it is just
It's amazing.
Just very special. And it was really special at our party. It made people very happy.
Yes.
And today, watching people at the theater, and they're looking at it and
taking their
taking pictures and freaking
laughing.
out. And I was in the theater. I had already seen it and came in the theater, and then I was listening to people's reactions as they came back.
Right.
And they'd go, "There's a Dalek out there, and it's doing this and that." And I was like, "Yeah, there's a kid in it." And they're going, "What?" You know. And it was really fun.
And then
to
it
see.
came into the theater and went
Oh,
so
yeah,
they could go
it's
watch.
so cool. Then the Dalek was coming around to the people. They're like, "Ah!" They're trying
And
to
it
get
moves
away.
the whisk and the plunger. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really, really cool. So that was a big treat.
Yeah,
And
it was
so,
great to see him
the
last
one
night.
was actually he made it the one thing out of a plunger.
Yeah, well, that's just like the real
And then
Daleks.
like golf balls up on his
Yeah.
head and stuff.
it's extremely
fantastic.
creative. It's ingenious. I mean, it really is just one of the most fun things
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen.
fabulous.
And like the electronics settle on a boogie board, like a boogie board.
Oh, do they?
Oh,
That
okay,
just
cool.
spins around up there.
Very cool. Well, yeah, good call on that one. That was so awesome. All right, I'm going to wrap it up because that's it. We've talked a long time on Coo Coo for Who here. Thank you for listening, everybody. This has been Coo Coo for Who, our Doctor Who podcast. You can find past episode... I'd say episodes, but there's only one so far.
The Christmas episode.
And all of our other podcasts, including, if you like Molly on these, we do a podcast called Ever After, which is about Once Upon a Time. You can find all those past episodes on our website, which is...
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
Yeah, and you can also find all of our... Oh, you can find the other Doctor Who podcast on there, and all of our social media links and things on there as well. Let's end this in a true Doctor Who fashion.
Alonzi!
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.